Hey, and welcome back. In this video, we'll go ahead and look at all the melodic parts of the track. So that's the bass line and everything. I'll just mute everything else. So yeah, let's dig in. There's one loop in this track, one audio loop. Everything else is MIDI, and that's loopje. And yeah, it's just this little sequence that keeps a pulse in the track. I've made it a bit more stereo by using the auto pan. And yeah, it's just really slowly moving from left to right, as you can see here and see in the meters. There's a sidechain compressor doing here, but I would have disabled that on export though. So really easy. Some reverb going into Valhalla, which I'll show you later in the mixing video. And another cool one is the MS-20 plugin by Korg. And yeah, give this a thump on every one. It's modulated by the release of the synth is modulated, so as is the decay, so it will sound it goes up in pitch, as you can hear. It's going into guitar rig. I use guitar rig a lot, mainly for this one here. Always set it into stereo and into high mode. It does some kind of oversampling, which yeah, gives it a bit more high quality sound. Use the reverb and the delay. Without it, yeah, it's just like a distorted bass drum. But with this, it really gives some shine. Especially the reverb. It's a spring reverb emulation, and yeah, it does a lot to dirty it up. You can even turn down the spring length, and then, yeah, it gives this vintage vibe. Should automate this. Anyway, that's the MS-20 sound. Next to that is the bass. One of my favorite plugins to use for bass lines is the FabFilter 1. I think I've used it since I started really with electronic music production. It's really cheap and it's really fat. So here it is. Turn off the compressor here. It's just the intro one. As you can hear it, yeah. Really cool. Just some filter modulation going on in the automation, and after that is the main bass line. And of course, that's not the clean sound. If I take all the plugins out, then it sounds a bit like this. First there's the Pro Q. Again, taking away some sub bass, because nobody can hear below 20 hertz, and it's just muddying up everything, especially if you convert it to MP3 to buy on Beatport or stuff like that. It sounds shitty, so I always take it away. And high end, I didn't want any high end because of the other elements in the mix, so took it away. And next is my favorite bass booster plugin. It's a 2-tape 4 from Air Windows, and it looks like this. Yep, no fancy GUI, just this. It's a really cool plugin to add some more bass. So without and with, add some saturation like a tape, and you can give it a head bump. Has something to do with the speed of the tape and stuff like that. So you can take it away or just add immense amounts of bass. Sometimes I use this on entire mixes, but just yeah, really gentle. But this is pretty extreme. And after that, to top it off, is the TDR feedback compressor by Tokyo Dawn Labs. Just a really tiny bit of compression, just to keep every note the same volume. Because you see, this is higher compressed than the lowest note. So everything is then the same volume, which is nice for bass parts. You have some consistency. Yeah, to top it off is a sidechain compressor, but it's more in the mix, as I said before. This is the main arpeggiator. Also a fab filter, but this time in poly mode. Yeah, the bassline was obviously monophonic. This is like a monophonic-like sound, the arpeggiator, but it's, yeah, it has a release, so multiple notes will sound at the same time. Just skip to the break. And here you can hear how nice this little thing sounds. So a little bit of modulation going on the pitch. Without it, it's pretty sterile, but just a little bit to give it this beating, drifting vibe. Really like it. Automating the release, as you can see. Just to make it a bit grander in the break. And yeah, that goes through the whole track. And of course it goes into a guitar rig, which has another tape echo and a stereo tune, which makes it a bit wider. Always love that. It could be that I took this away before exporting it to Logic and just reapplied it in Logic for some more control, but we'll see that in a moment. Yeah, and the tape echo really gives it a space, as you can hear. I always like that. And well, there's actually a piano in this track. There's an extremely hard compressor on it. Yep. It's a grand piano from live. Just threw it in there and played some chords. Has a vintage verb, which is a great reverb plugin. I use it all the time. Really cool sounding. You can set some settings. For example, you can choose some 1970s algorithms to have it behave like a really old digital reverb unit from the 70s or from the 80s, or like a really modern reverb unit. And of course, the older the algorithms used, the more noisy they will be, the less perfect they will be. Music is about imperfection in my taste, so that's always nice. And I've put a compressor after the reverb, just to I'll let you hear it. So now the reverb tail is compressed as well, so it will stand out more if I move it around. Just wait for everything. Yeah, here we are. It's much more gentle, and I really wanted the space to be compressed as well. So that's why I put it after the reverb. You don't really do that often, but yeah, it's nice to change things around, right? To double up the piano, I have like this tiny little sample I put in. Yeah, it's really. It's just a small sample. Looped it, and yeah, it goes into some reverb, and that doubles the piano. So. Like an octave above, to give it a more synthy vibe. And of course, the cool thing about the loop point is the higher you play it, the shorter the loop will be, and the lower you play it, the longer the loop will be. So you get this beating of the sound. And because it's a chord, you get like 4, I think, three beating sounds at the same time. It's really cool. And here, also modulating the release, so you get this wash of sound going, just to double up the piano. And of course, panned right and left, respectively. So now we're almost there. There's of course the sawy kind of sound. Well, it's not. It's coming in the break. And well, it's this one. It's the Poly KB from Sales Lab. So if you're looking for analog poly sounds in a plugin, this one is the way to go. Sounds really fat. Oh, turning off the sidechain compression here. And the cool thing about this plugin is you can morph through the waveforms. Of course, to modulate that, I'm not doing that in this this sound. It can give it a whole new perspective. And to double that off, I have this just this. I'm turning off the sidechain compression as well. This this sequence from Fat Filter. Just the same sounds going into arpeggiator, triggering Fat Filter. Moving things over to the right and taking some bass out. I've used the tractor effects in here. And that's doubled again, guitar rig on the soy kind of synth. And that's almost it. I have some FM sequence stuff here. Let's see what that is. Oh, that's also it's a little Max for Life patch. I show you a Max for Life sequencer going into FM8. Made some stuff. FM8 is a pretty cool synthesizer. If you never heard of it, just make a new sound and just play with it. You have different kind of operators, which are actually oscillators, and you can tune them. But the cool thing is, you can not only output them, but you can send them to the other oscillator or to itself, and that way you can get pretty cool sounds. And there's one final sound left, which is the synth solo kind of stuff. Which is the monopoly. It's a preset I use. Also going into guitar rig. As you can see, I love that tape delay. Anyway, those are all the synth sounds, and all those together make up Velocity. As I said, I have exported all these tracks, all the individual sounds. Well, not all individual sounds, but all individual tracks I played you as separate files, and put them into Logic to mix it. And I'll show you how I did that in the next video, and we'll go into some more detail on mix down and stuff like that. Bye bye.